typically a lot of anticipation leading up to the season opener? I mean, what's the week like leading up to it?
Day off. Well, right now, I mean, we don't really know. We haven't had practice yesterday. We had a little walkthrough on Monday just to kind of preserve our bodies and not have us going too much. But I'm pretty sure we'll have a hard practice today. Even harder practice tomorrow, being that there's no school, and then kind of a short practice on Saturday, and then ready to go on Sunday.
MoMo, how'd you feel about your performance over the weekend?
Didn't like it. It was just a different kind of feeling. But then again, it was an exhibition game, and you go back to the drawing board, you watch film, and you see what it is that you did, and what it is that you didn't do, and you try to do it better the next day.
Did you identify what that was?
Yeah, I didn't push the ball enough. Practice is totally different than games, and the way you push the ball in practice and the way you run in practice is kind of different than in a game. Practice shape and game shape is totally different, and a lot of people get caught up in practice shape, thinking they're going to be in shape for the game. Where you have to just how you have to get used to practice shape, you got to get used to game shape, and that's what I think. That was that. I just needed to push the ball more. Offense, that'll come, but that's really it. I mean, I didn't turn the ball over, so I felt real good about that.
So when you say game shape, you mean were you more tired or than you are in practices normally, or different?
Not necessarily more tired, but it's a different kind of feeling.
I mean, was part of that, when you think about it, was part of it just emotion, nerves, being out there the first time, as a starting point guard, that kind of stuff? Or that affect you? Because I wondered, I mean, you're obviously a confident guy, but I didn't know, there's a lot of focus on you this season coming in, and I wondered if that, is MoMo going to do this, is going to do that, whatever, does that affect you at all?
I mean, that's people views. I mean, that doesn't affect me. It's not about MoMo, it's about the Arizona basketball team. So, I'm just trying to come out and, do the best I can for my team. Whether, you're a starting point guard, whether, you're a reserve, just like I was last year. You just try to come in and you try to do what's best for the team. And people out there are going to have, the things that they're going to say. They're going to wonder if you're going to do, better than you did last year, or, make this big jump. And, that's just people's expectations. My expectations really is slim to none. You just come out and you play every night and you give it your all, and that's what you do. You get what you put into it.
When you inherit a responsibility like point guard, is that something that takes some time to maybe get used to? That it's more on your shoulders?
No, not really. I mean, at the end of the year, last year, I sort of came into my own, and I started to play good, so I kind of felt like some of the responsibility was on me, being that I started to play good. So, just carrying over into this year, I've always wanted the responsibility, but at the same time, you can't get caught up into everybody saying, everything is on you, because at the end of the day, there's no I in team, so everybody has to do their part in order for us to make it where we want to go as a team.
Coach Daniel has kind of a big gap to jump after his first 3 weeks of practice. Is that something any of you guys kind of take and help him out with?
Yeah, most definitely. We need everybody to win games. You have to, all 12, 13 guys basically have to be on board. And, he's a freshman and he'll come along, and we all went through it. We all had our ups and downs, whether it was in practice, whether it was in a game, whether it was off the court. And you go through your things. It's just how you grow from there. And I have no doubt in my mind that he'll grow. I speak to him every night, and we talk, and just let him know that it's not just going to happen overnight. We're not in a system where, you know, you can come out and you can play, you know, how it is that you normally play. You have to buy into a system, and you have to incorporate what you did in high school or what you're capable of doing into Coach Miller's system. And a lot of people wouldn't like it, but, you know, when you really sit down and you look at the system, it's a great system and it's a successful system. So he just has to be patient, and, you know, he'll be just fine.
You see then a little bit of what you went through? I mean, you were doing it on the court though last year, but talk about absorbing that system.
It's totally different. We had 5 freshmen last year.
Yeah.
We didn't really have, you know, we didn't have a time and a place to learn. We didn't really have anybody to teach us, for the simple fact that all 12 guys were sort of new to the whole system. Coach Miller, Book, Archie, everybody was new to the system. And, you know, we had to learn it while we went. And I think that these guys have an advantage. Jordan, DB have an advantage because, you know, we've had a year in the system and we can sort of show them how everything is supposed to be done, whereas last year we didn't have that.
Well, what's your take on just the big guys? Now you got Tree healthy, maybe Kirill back today, Derek maybe playing a little 4 and 5, more versatility, more. What's your thoughts on what it brings?
It gives Derek a chance to move over to the 4. It gives, you know, Tree a chance to show what he can do, Kirill a chance to show what he can do, you know, and, you know, Derek doesn't have to play, you know, necessarily 28 to 35 minutes. Neither does Kirill, neither does Tree. So it's kind of like, you know, they can get a breather, and you know, Derek doesn't necessarily have to move over to the 4 all the time. He can come out the game, and Kirill can move over to the 4, and Tree can play the 5, and you know, we won't be losing anything.
Does it make it different as a point guard when you're looking when you're running offense with one of those guys, or with Derek at 5? What's the difference to you? Does it change a lot?
I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't really change. I mean, our 5 does the same thing. I mean, there's no different plays for any of them. It's the same play for all of them. So, you know, if we run a play, it just has to be, you know, a play that we run. It's not necessarily for Derek, Tree, or Kirill.